So this is the next day. This is our 1 hour simple bioactive setup. And we watered the substrate, right? We watered the whole vivarium yesterday, and you can see that that moisture that we added has sort of dispersed through the substrate. It's pretty evenly damp now through the whole thing. There's a layer of rock on top that's very important because the animal does not want to sit on wet substrate. In the wild, they usually, almost always, sit on a dry surface. And the humidity is coming up from the substrate, so there's no need for a misting system. A misting system in this environment would be very detrimental. It would waterlog the soil. And the humidity, because there's no wind or anything, it's caught underneath these surface features. There's a probe I put in, a humidity probe, that's under that. I think that's an impatient from New Guinea. There's another probe on top of the rocks, and there's a probe you can't see that's under this curved slab of bark. And there's a more permanent probe. I want to watch the humidity levels long term. There's a Bluetooth hygrometer back there. The top of this is what you saw yesterday, what we made. It's all screened. And as time goes on, over the course of a few days, some of this top will get covered to keep the humidity in. Right now, I don't know what you think the humidity would be from those 3 probes, but that's what it is. And I've checked these probes. They're quite accurate, actually. The humidity in the room is 60%. We had a storm come through last night. And over time, what you'll see is that this vivarium will slowly dry down. As the source of the humidity, the substrate, dries down, the humidity in the air will also decrease, slowly though. And you'll see it first probably at the rock, where it's exposed, and then maybe under the plant. It will start to dry, and then finally probably the very last will be under the slab. And of course, as the animal needs it, there'll always be clean water available. And they'll use it. They'll jump in there and soak that water up, and then they'll go on about their day hunting. And by watching the sort of long-term trends, I'll be able to tell when the substrate is drying down. And when it reaches a point that I feel it needs water, probably in 2 weeks, I will add water. Now, in the meantime, will I mist it? I can. I can mist it. It just depends on the humidity, and also I think a light misting with a hand mister is a kind of enrichment for these frogs. They seem to really enjoy it when you give them a light misting. Oftentimes they come out and hop around in the mist. But I'll never let it get wet. This substrate will never be wetter than it is right now, and most of the time it will be drier.